The mammoth's final scream still echoes across the frozen steppe, a ghost of sound against the bite of the wind. A good hunt. A necessary hunt. Blood steams on the snow, but the clan's celebration dies in their throats. It is not the bellow of the beast that chills them now, but a single, sharp cry from Nea, their leader. The ground, a treacherous blanket of frost-hardened mud and brittle cryoflora, has betrayed her. One moment she stands, her mammoth bone spear held high. The next she is gone, swallowed by a dark, glistening wound in the earth. A tar pit, hidden by a thin veneer of snow and dead leaves. The viscous, black ooze already clings to her high trappings, pulling her down with a slow, inexorable greed. Panic is a physical thing. A frantic energy that ripples through the small band of early humans. Gaoke, the clan's strongest hunter, uncoils a length of braided mammoth sinew, his knuckles white as he throws it. The rope falls short. He tries again, roaring in frustration, but the distance is too great, and Nea is already sinking to her chest. Ilara, her designated successor, scrambles to the edge, her hand outstretched, her mind racing through impossibilities. A log, a branch. A landscape offers nothing but frozen tundra and the distant, skeletal shapes of winter-starved trees. Every attempt is futile. The tar is a patient predator, its grip absolute. The more Nea struggles, the deeper it pulls her, the dawning horror that this is a fight even she cannot win. This is not a predator that can be fought with the elegant lethality of their osteodontocratic technology. It is the earth itself claiming a life. Then, a stillness. Nea stops fighting. Her breathing, ragged and panicked, evens out. She looks at the faces of her clan, etched with fear and grief, and a profound calm settles over her features. This is her last hunt, her last sunrise. The hard choice is not whether she will live, but how she will die. She can be a source of terror, a screaming ghost that will haunt their every step, or she can be a leader. Even now, her gaze finds Ilara. Come closer, she commands, her voice quiet but carrying the unyielding weight of authority. Listen. There is not much time. Ilara crawls to the edge of the seeping pit, her face streaked with tears that freeze on her cheeks. The clan falls silent, a ring of grieving statues. The transfer has begun. This is the price of survival, a truth central to their hominid history. Wisdom is the clan's lifeblood, and it must be passed on, even if the vessel must be broken to pour it out. The world shrinks to the space between two faces. Around them the wind howls a dirge, and a new sound joins it, a series of sharp, avian clicks from the ridge. A pack of Dakota raptors, lean and feathered, drawn by the scent of the mammoth kill. Their arrival shifts the clan's fear from passive grief to active dread. The sleek dromaeosaurid are intelligent, patient watchers. They see the trapped human, the distracted clan, the mountain of fresh meat. They do not charge, they wait, their sickle claws tapping rhythmically on the frozen rock. Nea's eyes flicker towards them, a momentary flash of the old fire. They see weakness. She murmurs, the tar now at her collarbone, each word a greater effort. They will test you when I am gone. Show them no fear, Ilara. Only teeth. Her lesson begins, a stream of consciousness forged in a lifetime of survival. It is the oral history of their people, the very blueprint for their continued existence in a prehistoric world dominated by titanic forces. The mammoth migration follows the sun, but the escalating follows the mammoth. Know the hunter that hunts your prey, she rasps, her gaze locked on Ilara's. When you track, the wind is your first scout. It carries the fierce smell of deer, the dry dust of the plains. Close your eyes to see. Ilara nods, absorbing every syllable, committing the cadence of her leader's voice to memory as if it were a sacred chant. This is the raw data of human evolution, not a grand march of progress, but a desperate whisper passed from the dying to the living. Nea's voice weakens, the immense pressure of the tar constricting her chest. The great beasts, they are not monsters. They are mountains that walk. They have patterns, weaknesses. You saw today, we bleed the great ones from the flank, but the raptors, they are different. Labored sound. They are a storm of knives. You do not fight the storm. You find shelter, or you give it something else to break. Their belly is soft. The gastrolia, the floating ribs. They spear thrust upwards if you are quick. But never fight them alone. Each piece of advice is a polished stone of wisdom, a tool as vital as any flint axe. Under the cold sky, surrounded by her people and watched by hungry predators, NEA is forging her successor in the crucible of her own death. This is the brutal reality of their prehistoric life. There are no scrolls, no monuments. Legacy is the echo of a voice in the mind of the one who survives. The tar reaches NEA's chin, a slow black tide. Her words are now just breath and shape, the energy behind them fading into the vast, indifferent cold. Do not let the fire die, she whispers, her eyes holding Alara S. It is her final command, her last gift. It is everything. Then, with a soft sigh, the ooze covers her mouth, her nose. A few bubbles rise, shimmering with a rainbow iridescence, and then the surface of the pit is still, a dark, unblinking eye reflecting the grey sky. NEA is gone, consumed by the earth, her wisdom the only part of her to escape. She is already a fossil in the making, a future mystery for a world that cannot comprehend the sacrifice made at this spot. The clan lets out a collective, wounded sound, a single note of pure anguish. In the ringing silence, every eye turns to Alara. She is no longer the apprentice. The mantle has passed, and its weight is a physical pressure, heavier than the grief that threatens to crush her. At that exact moment, the Dakota raptors on the ridge suddenly shriek and scatter. Something has spooked them. A deep, guttural rumble vibrates through the frozen ground, a sound felt in the bones before it is heard by the ears. A shadow falls over them. Looming on the rise is the true ruler of this frozen wasteland, the apex predator. Immense and covered in a coat of shaggy, grey-white feathers, its breath plumbing in the frigid air. It has been drawn by the mammoth's death agony, and it sees the feast and the small, vulnerable figures of Homo sapiens beside it. Alara's heart hammers against her ribs. This is it, that in her clan be scattered and torn apart, or she can act. Nea's voice echoes in her mind, not a memory but a living presence. Show them only teeth. The mammoth blood smearing her hands, feeling suddenly like a warrior's paint. Go are okay, she shouts, her voice cracking but clear. The hunches, hack them free. Now. Her command slices through the paralysis. The hunters leap into action, their flint blades working with desperate speed. Take what we can carry, Alara orders, her gaze fixed on the approaching dinosaur. We leave the rest, and we leave her. The words are acid in her throat. Goroke hesitates, looking from the tar pit to Alara, his face a mask of conflict. We honor her by living, Alara says, her voice gaining a cold certainty. This is the lesson. We live. He nods, a sharp, pained jerk of his head, and turns back to his task. They are no longer a grieving family. They are a survival unit executing a plan. Their movements a testament to the survival skills past in a leader's final moments. The clan flees, a desperate, stumbling retreat across the snow, laden with bloody meat. They do not look back at the Yutyrannus staring into the mammoth carcass, nor at the placid, black pool that holds their leader. They look forward, following the small figure of Alara as she leads them towards the setting sun, towards the promise of a fire and another day of life. The lesson has been paid for in the most brutal currency imaginable, but it has been learned, and in the unforgiving calculus of this prehistoric life, that is a victory. They were a flicker in the vast, frozen darkness. A species armed not with impenetrable hides or crushing jaws, but with a strange and potent magic, the ability to pour one life's wisdom into another's. NEA's death was not an end. It was a catalyst, a brutal but necessary act of transfugation that ensured the clan's most vital tool, knowledge, would not be buried with the bone. This is the quiet, unwritten epic of human evolution. A story not of heroes, but of continuations. It is a chain of voices whispering secrets across millennia, a legacy of hard choices made by ancient humans who stood against the monsters of an ancient earth and refused to break. They learned that the body is temporary, but the lesson, if passed, can be eternal. Their desperate gambles, their profound sacrifices. They are the bedrock upon which our own audacity was built. What is the soul of a species, if not the echoes of its dead teachers? This is the chronicle of the cold silence, and the silence that follows is always hungry.